J-Pod. Is that okay to call you J-Pod?
It's all good.
Seeing this past weekend, the kicks decided a lot of games, particularly a couple of kicks that didn't go, but you hear complaints all the time from Kirby about having to settle for field goals. Is it almost taken for granted that those are going to be good and those 3 points are going to be, and just your role this season, obviously all those points are important.
Right. I don't think it's taken for granted at all. Practice it every day. I think every head coach is unhappy when he's got to settle for a field goal and not a touchdown. But at the end of the day, just trying to walk out there, be consistent, make the points. So.
Hot pod. Is that cool?
Good for that too.
Okay. Going back to Hot Rod, you had to follow. What was that pressure like? Was there pressure? Did you feel any of that following a legend, so to speak? Your first season.
Right. There's definitely a lot of pressure. Rod left a huge legacy here. I mean, he's going to be a name in the books probably till this program runs itself into the ground. Whenever it is, probably never. So there was a lot of pressure coming in 2020, trying to win the job, stepping in, filling his shoes, just trying to do my best job, and hopefully I can account for something.
Going back, I don't know if you saw the Arkansas-Texas A&M game, the way that game ended with the kick just missing that, that short of the upright. In terms of preparing for, playing in an NFL stadium versus a college stadium, is there, in terms of like the uprights, is there like a change in preparation each week when you do that, or is there just something that you do just all the time just to make them connect?
Yeah, Cam Little is a good buddy of mine actually, and like that ball was smoked, like 42, left hash, top of the upright. I mean, you couldn't hit a ball any better than that. But in terms of college versus NFL, no, you can't prepare any differently. It's all got to be the same. I mean, uprights may be a little bit more extended up, but at the end of the day, you just had to hit it straight through. So.
So I'm sure you're okay if I cover that.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett is your preferred holder, as Kirby Smart had just told us. What's your relationship like with him, especially with him holding extra points and field goals for you now?
It's definitely grown now since the season started. I got to put a lot of trust in him. At the beginning of spring when I was told Stetson was going to be holding for me, I was like, okay, it's going to be interesting. Jake had held since his freshman year, and Jake did a great job. No one better to do it. And so the spring was tough. Had to trust him, and there wasn't much trust at first in the spring. It was kind of like, I don't know if you play golf, but it's like stepping up and you've got your 3-iron out. Not good, not a good look. But over the summer, got some work early into the August, got more work with Stetson, got really comfortable with him, and so that relationship's grown a lot, and happy to see that.
When going to play at different fields and away games, do you find a difference in kicking off turf versus kicking off grass, and which do you prefer?
I definitely prefer kicking off grass. It's a little bit easier on the bones and joints, but at the end of the day, it's got to be the same. Like, I've got to treat it the same, and it really can't prepare much differently. Your foot's probably going to sink into the grass a little bit more, and it'll give versus turf where it's pretty solid. So.
Jack, get back again to the work you did with Stetson over the summer. Can you even begin to guesstimate how many reps you guys took before you finally started feeling comfortable? And at what point, when did it kind of start clicking? How did it finally start clicking for you guys?
I think we're still figuring it out. I still grab him after practice every day, and I get Payne Walker, the snapper, to snap him short snaps every day after practice. We try and hit at least 10 snaps, because you can never get comfortable. You've always got to be getting reps. So, yeah.
Jack, what did it mean to you to get the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week honor this week?
It meant a lot. To me, honestly, I didn't think I was hitting my best balls on a Saturday, but something that I've learned over the past few years is your B-ball has got to be good. And on Saturday, those were probably my B-balls, and my B-balls satisfied. So.
not to belabor the Stetson thing, but it is, you alluded to this a little bit, but just the logistics of him having to be with the offense the entire game. You're over there kicking the entire practice.
Right.
Who's holding for you while you're practicing? I guess that would be considered the backup holder.
Right.
And just what are the logistics? And you said y'all work something after practice every day.
So I'll get Brett Thorson. He's the backup holder, and so he'll hold for me on other days that Stetson's not, whether we're off by ourselves, which is a lot of the time. So he's getting a lot of reps at holding, and he's getting comfortable with that as well. So.
If you had a podcast, would you call it a podcast? You mentioned golf.
Yep.
I think Jake Marta golfed. Did y'all golf a lot? Is there any correlation between golf and kicking in any respect?
Surprisingly, him and I did not golf ever together. Next time he comes to Athens, I'll have to get him on the golf course. He'll probably beat my butt though. He's a pretty good golfer. There definitely is correlation though between kicking and golfing, especially in the hips. So it correlates a lot.
Speaking of Brett Thorson, do you have any extra stories you can tell? I know that you told us in the spring that I think he calls a hamburger chicken sandwich. Do you have any other updates on that?
So I actually got to bring Brett home, let's see, July 4th. I got to bring him back to St. Simon's with me, and he's obsessed now with the fact that he got to visit Sea Island. He's like, oh, I belong now. Like, I've visited Sea Island. I feel like I belong. But, just the interactions with Brett and the cultural differences is pretty awesome, but just he's a great guy, and getting to know him is pretty awesome.
Jack, kind of still talking about Brett. We saw he kind of had to hold during that South Carolina game when Stetson got sick. How
Yeah.
far has he come as a holder? Just because I would have to imagine he didn't really have any kind of background on that before he got here.
He's come a long way. He definitely, he told me when he was over in Australia, he did not practice much. It was really just punting and punting strictly. He's still learning, obviously, but he's been getting better every day. So.
Two peas in a pod. Kirby has praised your mental strength in terms of bouncing back after a missed kick or something like that. Where does that sort of come from for you in being mentally strong?
For me, it probably comes from, first of all, I'd say just knowing that I'm not playing for anyone except for God, just giving Him all the glory. On top of gathering my mental strength from Drew Brannon, our psychologist. I get to meet with him every other week, but really for me it's more like once a week, maybe every day during the week. So he's really helped me grow. So.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
See you,
Jack.
Podfather.